This is how I know it's been a minute, because now y'all see the bundles. Last time y'all saw me with the Marley twist. It's been a minute, but I'm back. All right, so I was asking for suggestions of like what I should like make videos of, and my friends were telling me like, hey bro, like make a video of what it's like to be a Black woman in South Korea. So here we are. So it is in the middle of month 4. It's been almost fully 4 months since I got here. I guess things are cool. We still have no vaccines here. And COVID cases are going up here. So it was cool when I first got here, but around, was it April? Like beginning of April, they shut shit down. So like nothing is open past 10 here, things like that, which is hard because I get off work at 10. So like just be work here. So that's been the only like downfall, is COVID is still full and swinging here, unfortunately. Honestly, that should be pissing me off because we could have been had vaccines, and it's all governments and politics, and Korea like, hey, US, and US like, hold up, we got our own thing, so we ain't got no vaccines, and we're most likely not getting them earliest July. Earliest July! Anyway, so yeah, let's get into this video. So first and foremost, I want to say that anti-blackness is a global phenomenon that you will experience in every country, including countries in Africa. You're going to experience it. I knew this fully well whenever I came here, so none of this is really a surprise, okay? So the big question is like, have I experienced racism and things like that here? And I will say, I feel like racism isn't as much of what I'm experiencing here. I think it's just more xenophobia in general, just discrimination towards all foreigners. But of course, my experience is going to be different. Like a white person is a foreigner here, and of course, their experience here will be completely different from my experience here. So I am in the south of South Korea, so I live in a smaller city compared to like Seoul. So of course my experiences are only based off of here. It would be silly for me to generalize the entire country because it's an entire country, and it doesn't make sense. So I can just only talk about my experience in the south of South Korea. So number one thing that we all knew was going to happen was staring. It's funny because the first 2 weeks I was here, I didn't really get stared at that much. So I thought, oh, okay, everybody was capping, like it's not that bad. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if they had a meeting. It was like, hey y'all, we gotta stare more, because after that, everyone was staring. And the thing is, well, the funny part is that when I bring it up, a lot of people, or I've done a lot of research, and people say, oh, like in Korea, like staring isn't like seen as rude like it would be in America. Because, you know, like in America and a lot of Western countries, we've been taught that staring is a rude thing to do. But I call cap on that, because I will notice people staring at me in the streets, and eventually I started to stare back, because I was like, y'all not about to just stare at me, like what the fuck? And so when I stare back at them, then a lot of people start looking away, and I'm like, okay, so you understand that you probably shouldn't stare at a stranger on the street. Got it. For the old men though, like I'll be staring, they'll be staring, I'll keep staring, he'll keep staring, we're staring down each other in the street. I'll give a quick look up and down, like who the fuck are you looking at? They'll keep staring. I'm like, those people, the older ones, they don't give a fuck. And of course, like little kids, it's not a big deal, because like even whenever I was a kid and I saw a white person for the first time, I was like, oh my god. So like, it's a kid. So I will talk about some of the things that I've noticed or experienced so far that have been discriminatory, but that would be discriminatory to all foreigners. So the first thing was, whenever I got here, I of course have to wait until I get my alien registration card. Without it, I can't get a phone plan, I can't get a bank account, I can't get anything. So I have to wait until I get that. So it took a month for me to get that. I was like, bet. I'm thinking finally I can get all my stuff. I go to the bank with like a coworker of mine, and they start saying stuff like, oh, you have to wait 3 months before you can get a debit card. Why? Tell me why. My coworkers came like in the summer, like of last year, they didn't have to do that. So this was a brand new policy that they put in place, and no one could explain why we had to wait an arbitrary amount of time to get the debit card. Well, their explanation was like, oh, they want to make sure that the foreigners stay and things like that before we give them a card. That don't make no damn sense. I'm sorry, it don't make no damn sense. So I was like really pissed off about that because it didn't make any sense. And my coworkers were like, you should just pull out like when you get your first paycheck and then like see they give you the card. And lo and behold, I pulled up to the bank and I was like, yeah, I'm here for my card. And I was sweating and shit. I was like, whew, I hope they get, and they gave me the card. They put in that shit right there and gave me my card. And I'm just like, this is how I know it was a arbitrary ass fucking rule for no reason. I don't know why they did that. For them to even do it and then not even enforce it. That's how I'm like, that's how y'all know that shit didn't, it just doesn't make sense. It's random as shit. The other thing that happened was like a couple months ago. It wasn't in my city. It was only in Seoul. But they were making all foreigners like go through mandatory COVID testing because there had been a cluster of positive cases amongst like a factory, like of foreign workers and stuff. And like, yeah, it would make sense if you worked in like vulnerable conditions that would expose you and make you more susceptible to getting it. But to make every single foreigner in a large mega city go and get tested, like that was wild and didn't make any logical sense. Cause I'm like, what is it about our blood that we just get COVID more? I'm like, there's more cases of people, foreign or actual natives with COVID than there are foreigners. It didn't make no sense. It was a huge international outcry. They stopped doing it, bada bing, bada boom. But yeah, overall, I feel like the main thing has just been really silly ass rules for foreigners in general that don't be making no damn sense. Yeah. What's the next thing? Hair stuff. It hasn't been hard. I mean, really, I brought a lot of shit. Like I was fully very prepared. I brought, this is only one of the wigs I brought. I brought all the things that I needed. And also Amazon ships out here. You just have to pay for the shipping. But it's not really hard to get the stuff you want. You will probably have to pay a little bit more. Like I had to get that got to be glued, the yellow bottle. If you got 4C edges that don't lay, that is the key. I'm just saying. But I don't know what I was on, but I forgot it at home. And so I had to go order one from Amazon. So it was like $6 something for it, but it was also like $6 for shipping. So I basically paid double the price for it. But I thought it was worth it because I needed that. My edges needed that. Also, I heard, I'm not sure how prevalent that is in my city, but definitely in Seoul, there definitely be like clubs and stuff that would discriminate and say like no foreigners allowed and things like that. So I guess like after everything opens back up and stuff, I will experience that firsthand and let y'all know about that. But yeah, overall, nothing crazy. It hasn't been nothing crazy. Again, I am aware I'm a Black woman. I'm fully aware of that. The world don't let me forget it. And no matter where I live, I can never just move in like silence. I will always stand out in some way, shape, or form, which sucks because I am a person that would love to just disappear and like not be perceived, but I have no choice. So here we are. But overall, nothing crazy. I'll keep you updated if anything like pops off. Y'all be first to know.